catch that, if I'm honest.
Yeah, but it's gonna catch this though.
Yeah. Okay. I'll give it a couple seconds, make sure everything's fine. Like I always do each week. And then I'll start everything up. If my phone would work.
It won't.
Good job.
Might as well.
There we go. Okay. So it's all live now. He's all ready. Got you all ticked your boxes.
Yes.
Of course.
Let's
All
go.
right. Hello and welcome to a special episode of the SLR SidePOD. This week, like I said, is a bit of a different one, indicating it's a special episode. This week we'll be talking about mental health. We will be, of course, going over a special case that has happened within our own league. One of the drivers has, of course, shared their story. I'm not sure if you've heard anything about it, but of course it has been talked about in a couple of the other streams. I would like to start off by just quickly talking about mental health and doing a bit of a introduction before I then move on to said driver's story. I would like to extend what's the word? I've completely bottled it there. I'd like to extend help to anyone who needs it by first emphasizing, if you are dealing with anything related to mental health or any such problem that is causing you grief within your life, please see someone. Whether you are going through physical pain, whether you're going through emotional pain, please, I applaud you to, go see someone. Yeah, I was just making sure. I want you to go see someone, because whether it be a doctor, whether it be a friend, whether it be family, whether it be, well, I wouldn't say some stranger on the street, but, please, if you are dealing with anything, see someone, talk to someone. It could mean life or death, realistically, because everyone deals with things differently, and if you ball it up, it can just grow and grow and grow into a problem that cannot be fixed. And if you see someone or talk to someone, you can end up fixing that problem before it becomes too late. There is other, of course, countermeasures to help you. Just personally, from experience, setting a routine, going through each day, making sure you have a goal each day of what you want to accomplish. Whether it be a little accomplishments like going for a walk, reading the book you've been wanting to finish, playing a game for so long. Of course, these little things can just help keep your day right, keep you right, and keep you from going through any more pain. Of course, it will vary from person to person, but if you can, find something that helps you if you are dealing with anything. And after that brief introduction of sadness and everything, I will now move on to introducing everyone in the party today. Of course, I am your host, Callum. I'm joined by Steve-O, my usual co-host, and the person who's going to share his story today, SLR Scopezz. Of course, we do have Ranga, Owen, and Clockin today, as well as Southerners, who will be, of course, talking with and helping with the SidePOD as we go along. I will be moving on to, of course, Scopezz' story now, so I extend a warm welcome to him, and for not congratulations, what's the word? Oh my lord. I would like to say we're proud of you. Basically, that's the word I was looking for sharing your story with us in the league, and of course, everyone here is glad you're here, to put it simply. So, Scopezz, welcome to the SidePod. I think this is the first time you've been on it. I believe.
It is. Yes, it is my first time on the SidePod.
Well, welcome to the SidePod, of course. I want you to be comfortable. Feel like there's nothing. If you feel like you don't want to say something or you want to take a break, that's fine. We'll move on to something else. Just quickly, while you take a quick breather. If you need to go at any point, let us know, or just go, and we'll move on accordingly. So, Scopezz, I would like you to start off by explaining your story from the start. Take it away.
Thank you, Eric. Right. Starting off, mental health is always a difficulty in anybody's life, and it always provides its own difficulties to each and every person in its own way. Mine specifically has come on from having to deal with a lifelong bit of my family being caught up in a lot of drug use and alcohol abuse. Me, myself, I keep myself away from it, but to see my uncle fall to mental health from it and see my mum going down the same road, it's not an easy road to live on, especially growing up. So that wasn't helping anyway, so I was always been stressed. But moving on, the stuff that made it worse was possibly stress from work. In my instance, going into lockdown, a lot of people got days off. Me, myself, and I know a lot of other people have worked throughout lockdown. I worked 9 days in a row, some of those days double shifts. So going in the morning, going home for an hour, going back in for the evening, and they were 9 days in a row with a day off in between, which obviously wasn't the easiest thing to do during the whole stress. Then to go home every day to see your own family falling apart and everything at home in the way that it is, it's not easy. Through all that, I gained quite severe stress and depression and anxiety to the point where I was shaking, I was crying at random times, and I didn't know what to do. I made some very irrational mistakes, unfortunately, on my behalf, and it ended up with me losing my job, which in the end tipped me over that edge that I was fighting so hard to stay above. And that took me to a point of every single week I'd come to the Monday and Tuesdays and I wouldn't want to go to the end of the week anymore. I'd be about done to, that's it, I'd be done. I didn't want to wake up the next day. I didn't want to go through that pain any more than I ever had to before. And it was killing me. Inside, it was killing me. I was crying every day, crying every night. I wasn't sleeping. I was getting about 2-3 hours sleep every week, at most. But it's not been easy. And the best way I can describe mental health to anyone that's not experienced it themselves is as the same way as I described it to Ranga. It's like being surrounded by some demons, and like they're constantly overshadowing you, they constantly got a weight on you. You try and smile, but they're always there. You try and make life better, but they always find a way to knock you down twice as hard, and it's not easy to get out of that. But my only light in the week to get a break from all that was the racing with the SLR boys, of course. So when any of them popped up and said, let's do some 5-lappers, or any of them popped up and said, got some practice for this weekend, it always kept me going. And without that, honestly, I don't think I would be here anymore, as I was fighting so hard to stay here in the first place. My only way out of it, the only people I could talk to were the certain people in SLR, and obviously I know a lot of them didn't know. But the people that did, i.e. Ranger, Gareth, Southerners, you all provided some amazing support to me, and I couldn't have asked for anything better from the boys themselves. And like I said, I've fighting my battle. My battle's far from over yet. But I urge anyone that is also struggling to come forward. And if you need any help, please just ask for it, because it's not nice being as low as I was at that point. And there's nothing I could have done to fix it. There's nothing I could have done to make it better. And it was destroying me. And mentally, I don't think without SLR and everyone's support, I'd have made it to the end of this year. As I was destroying myself, my own mental capacity, from having no money to eat, for not eating for 3 days, to being kicked out for the stupidest of things. Like tonight, my time's being cut short as I will be unfortunately leaving the household tonight for a bit. Over an internet problem that I sorted out of my own last bits of money for someone who didn't even deserve it. But I'm still getting kicked out of the house for that, so unfortunately it's hard. It's really hard, but you've got to keep your friends as close as you can, and I wouldn't class SLR as anything else but a family to me, as every single one of the boys in it has done something to keep me alive, and I'm so appreciative of that. Everything will try and knock you down, trust me, it really will, and it might seem some days you'll wake up and there's no light there, or you don't want to do it anymore, but there is something and you just got to try and find it. And unfortunately, there's nothing else I can do on that, but I just wanted to thank every single one of the part of SLR for everything they've always done. And like I said, I wouldn't be here without you boys, so I'm happy that I get to line up on the grid side by side with you, and I also get to have banter with you guys as well, so thank you guys.
Shit, man, you got me crying here. Oh, damn.
The strength to say that, Scopezz. The strength to say that on stream and to come out with what you said. It's not like it's 10 or 20 people in Discord. There's 100 plus to come out and say that to all of us. The strength is truly inspirational, buddy. I mean, I know it's been very small steps since you at your very, very, very worst. But small steps. But it's still progress in the right direction. You've just got to keep reminding yourself of that. Your Formula 2 win last Thursday, I was gladly and happily in the same party with you when that beautiful moment happened. That's sort of stuff you need to remember, that you can feel emotion again of joy, happiness, even though it's to some people just a game. You've just got to keep reminding yourself of that, like you said earlier, and just now, what's happening within the next hour. Yes, it's obviously it's horrible what's going on, but you've just got to remind yourself that there is light on the horizon. And if you were feeling worse again, you've got everyone on the Discord to be there for you. You only spoke to you mentioned that you spoke to Ranger, Gareth, and myself, but following the reaction on the Discord that followed after you coming about your troubles. You've got more than just three of us, mate. You've got a whole community, which is absolutely fantastic.
I appreciate it, man. I really do. Like you said, that win in F2, that was everything I needed. At that point, the bad luck in life and then the bad luck on track was just, it was unbearable. It was ripping me to pieces, and when there was nothing I could do, and then I knew going into that F2 race, I felt a bit confident. And to pull off something like I did, I'm surprised I managed to do it. But I can't say it enough. The screaming and stuff, I was crying, I was going over that line. It meant everything to me.
It was so
And
raw. That was what was so beautiful about it.
The words cannot describe how much that meant to me that day.
As someone who only watched the replay, and of course knowing the context to know then watch that replay, watching you cross that line and knowing what of course you announced in the chat, I started I don't want to sound weak here, but I did tear up quite a bit knowing that you've absolutely stormed it, and I was so glad to see you win. And of course to know what you'd gone through, just oh god, it was so emotional to watch you cross that line. Even if it was a replay, I still felt every emotion. Flippin' hell, I'm still crying.
Can I just ask something?
Go for it.
No, you said that you opened up to like Ranga and Gareth and that. Was it harder for you to? Was it easier after you did it? Was it easier to do it than you thought it would be? If that makes sense.
Open up to Ranga and Gareth and Matt. At the point when I opened up to those three lads, I will be honest, I wasn't at my worst. That was before I went very, very far down. But they knew about it, and I knew that they knew about it, and I knew I had their support if I needed it. When you get to a point, you can still talk about it, but once you pass that line, like I said, once I got really far down, it became very hard to talk about, and it was almost putting on a fake persona per se when I was on chats, etc. And it's easily done. I did it at work all the time, but to have them know that it was there, it helped. And then as soon as the win happened, there was so much stress relieved off of my shoulders. Everything was just gone for that night, and I not only cried for hours with Matt and everyone after screaming and going on the stream, and then I also spoke to Ranga personally that evening before we putting the message up on Discord, and it was something else that night. And everything the lads have done for me over the past couple of months has saved my life.
This is not related to what you just said, but with a matter of urgency, could you just quickly check the SidePOD chat? Scopezz, we're going to try and sort something out for you to go tonight.
Yeah, I'd just like to, of course, and put into words how, of course, thankful we are for Scopezz, of course, telling us everything, as we've been able to, support him, talk to him, and of course, get him on the SidePOD to talk about his story. And of course, we urge everyone to take into consideration Scopezz' story, and I don't want to say learn from it. I want to say, I don't want to say Steve-O. I'm trying to think of how to put it in words. I want you to, consider it when you're going through your own problems. I want you to take into consideration what he's said, what he's used as a coping mechanism. It was like I said at the start of the SidePOD, talk to people, not necessarily share every single detail you can, because I know that can cause problems of people then taking it as you complaining. But as long as it's someone who's trusted and who is willing to listen to you through everything, just talk to them. Do something that will, you know, help you, such as, of course, Scopezz, you know, going through each week, being helped by the practices, being helped by the actual races, and, of course, he was overjoyed by the race win in F2. But even little victories like doing your best in a single race, such as, you know, getting third after you've placed 10th all season, can, you know, be an absolute victory. It could be the same as just winning an entire season. But of course, that's just going off what Scopezz, of course, has shared. Is there anyone else in the party that would like to say something, share something?
I think, to be honest, I can't. I mean, I don't really know how to talk about it from a personal experience. I'm glad that I could help Scopezz in some shape or form. And I'm glad that he's improved mentally from where he was to where he is now. Obviously, he said he's still got a long way to go. But I'm just I don't really know how to describe it. I'm pretty lost for words, and in regards to the whole topic, I've been lost for words since it came out last Thursday night, and I'm so proud of everyone involved in the league for making Scopezz feel as if he could feel comfortable enough to talk to us about that. To be on here as well. I think it's just a really great thing. I'm lucky from personal experience because I can't relate to him as much as I'd like to an extent. I mean, I'm not saying I'm not trying to wish it on myself, I guess, but I would, in terms of being able to help him, it would have been better or easier, I guess, for me to help him by having some experience. Basically, it's not like, I wouldn't say it's new to me, but it's not something that I'm overly fluent with, or I know a lot about. So I'm just glad that I could help him in whatever way, and just want to be here for him regardless of what happens in the future, and we can help him in any shape or form. And that's what I want to do.
I will just add that I think that goes for anybody.
Of course it does.
In SLR, anyone in SLR. If you feel after listening to this, if you can relate to this a bit more than you thought, and you were worried about telling people, and that we're all here, and we'll all do our best for all our members, all our drivers, because we are, like Scopezz said, it is like a family. We don't know each other face to face, but you don't have to be. I don't think social media and that is a bad thing, in the sense that you've got contact with so many people from so many different walks of life, and I think it definitely opens up everyone's mind, everyone's eyes to the problems that each other can do. And personally, I take my hat off to him. I think he's shown great courage and great resilience to kind of still be here, and also to stand up today and do it. And I think that's commendable. And I want to help anyone that needs help, and I think that goes for all the members, really.
Yeah, like Steve just said, if you feel like you do need to talk, everyone in this podcast and most of the people in the actual league would be more than welcome, more than happy to talk. I know there's new guys, of course. We're getting a new person in basically every week. But even to the new guys of the league who are maybe just watching this podcast for the first time ever, you know, I want to extend a hand for anyone who wants to talk, who wants to just be listened to for 10, 15 minutes to an hour, or even longer than that. Because we are, as a community, basically a family. I mean, in my personal experience, league racing as a whole sort of helped me through a couple bad things I will not go into. But it's also helped me, you know, find people who I would be happy to call family or brothers, and you know, I've known Ranga for a long time, and I talk to him about anything if I'm honest. So it's definitely, like Gareth said, SLR, even from day one, was a big community of just people who wanted to race and wanted to make sure everyone else could race at the same time, and that everyone was happy. It may just be a game, but it has, like I said, helped us, you know, grow. People, of course, do 5-lappers, they talk, they just, you know, have fun. And in Scopezz' situation, it's saved someone. And I am personally so happy to be part of this league. Even if I know I'm not as active as what I really should be. I feel like the league that has been created has just become so much more than a league. To repeat myself for the 15th time, it has become a family. Yeah, I don't know what else to say now. I'm sort of, you know, lost for words. Like Ranga said, I've been lost for words for a while. Coming up with what to say this week has been kind of difficult because, of course, I want to be professional and, you know, keep it scheduled, but at the same time I want everyone to feel open to talk, to question, to make sure Scopezz felt like he was, you know, as, you know, free as possible to go and talk about what he needed. So now that it's started, I'm actually kind of lost for words. Damn. Shit. I don't know what to say.
I wish I could help you, Callum, speak, but it's the first time ever I've got honestly, I've got actually no clue what there is I can say.
Yeah, well, I mean,
it's like,
same, but normally I come in with a stupid joke or something. It's not like the right time for me, I don't think. But, yeah, no.
It's like, yeah, I always have something to say, but I just, like, it's the fact that I can't relate in any shape or form. So I don't know, I'm just completely speechless. I have no... I don't know what to say. It's
not like... I know there would probably be people who would look at us and say, oh, look at them, not knowing what to say, being disrespectful to someone's situation, but we're not speechless because we're being disrespectful. We're speechless because we are so proud and grateful to Scopezz to be able to come out, say what he's needed to say, and then come on a watched podcast to 20 viewers, up to 100 viewers that it sometimes gets, who may want to hear his story, may not want to hear his story, and say what's been troubling him, what's helped him, what's changed for him, is amazing to us, and we are so happy to know him and to be able to race with him. I think that's basically that is basically what's made us speechless, because most of the time during the side pod, me, Ranga, Clock would all make some bad pun or joke, and we'd all have a laugh and carry on about it and keep on the discussion of whatever the hell's been talked about. I'd be swearing my head off right now within every other sentence. But I know for a fact this week is not exactly a week we can do that. I mean, of course, some of the... I don't mean this in the wrong way, but sometimes you do have to laugh at these situations. You've got to find the funniness in some situations, but this week, it's not that time. It's not the case of, oh, look at this is funny, we should talk about this more. Oh, look, Ranga's done this. Steve was going to win next week, let's have a laugh at that. For me, being serious is a difficult thing, because I went to therapy myself, and in my therapy sessions, it would always end up with laughing and having a bit of a joke on, so yeah, I'm not exactly used to this situation where it's serious and is actually causing problems in someone's life. So I can't... Okay, give me a second, I'm welling up again. Flipping hell. Ugh, such a crybaby. I just...
Nothing wrong with that. There's a lot of why so many people stay quiet in these situations, because men in particular feel like they're weak if they cry. A strong man cries. That is what that's what needs to get across more. There's one of the worst sayings is "man up." Without going into too much detail, I've had some tough times, but when people would say that to me, that was honestly actually one of the worst things that you could hear, because it would just make you want to hide it even more, which builds everything up. And then obviously the worst thing to do is bottling it all up, because then at some point you can't take it anymore and it just explodes, which is why Scopezz talking to one person after another about these issues is a tiny weight off the shoulder. You're talking about it. I know it's baby steps, but it's baby steps in the right direction. And to go back to, you've been dealing with this for a while. You said earlier, come Monday, Tuesday, I think you said you felt like you it's like you didn't want to make it to the end of the week, but you did, and that alone shows what great strength you have, which builds an unbelievably strong foundation for the future. As they go to say, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. You're going to pull through this, Scopezz. I know you will. I've only known you for 4 months, but I think I know you well enough that you are going to climb up that mountain, get to the top. You're going to throw your fist in the air in relief, excitement, and it's going to be your biggest win in your life. You've got that strength, you just need to see the path, just so you can walk up it. And again, we'll be there with you by your side. Make sure we can do what we can do to get you there, mate.
Oh, stop it, you're making me cry.
Nothing wrong with it, mate. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, mate, as you know, of course, you know what's going on in the side pod. We are literally here for you, for anything, whether you need to talk, whether you need to, shout at someone for a bad race.
Got plenty of them.
Mate, if you're shouting at clock, then I'm here for it. Tell you now.
Yeah. Let's shout at clock. That's that.
Why does it always end up with picking on me?
Because we love
What
you.
have I done today?
We don't pick on you. What are you on about? I don't know where you get these baseless accusations from, mate. God, I forgot what I was going to say now. kind of glad because I don't think it was very tactful.
Fucking hell, Ranger, you fucked everything up now.
Oh, there's the F-bomb.
Yeah. I just want to.
Yeah.
I want to look at it from the other side as well for the people listening. If you see anyone struggling yourself and you want to help them, don't ever. I don't think it's good to kind of shy away from that. And like Southerners were saying about the man up and stuff like that, it works both ways. I think if you see someone struggling, go and give them a hand in whatever form it is. So I think it's not just people having to ask for the help as well. I think you know, if you notice it, if you see it, just, you know, everyone needs help in some form or another in some part of life. So
Especially if you've suffered previously, if you know the pain, and the suffering that you go through day to day, and you know someone's currently going through that, you just want to help them. It's as soon as I found out about Scopezz, I wanted to. It was almost like I had to as well. You just couldn't see, because you've been through it, and you know it's. Well, there's no words really. You wouldn't even wish your worst enemy to feel like how you would at your worst. Which is why I've like echoing to what Steve-O said. If you do notice, or you do know that someone has got some dark clouds over them, just help them, because you will become a hero. Just talking to them, it will make you a hero. Just because they will know that there is people there for them. Because at your worst, you feel worthless. You feel like no one's there for you, and because of that, you don't talk about it. So you will never know for definite. Again, like Scopezz has been doing, one by one, speaking to people. He sees people are there to help. Again, the response and the reaction in the Discord, and if you look in the Twitch chat, Scopezz, you are very valued.
I appreciate it.
Very valued, buddy.
You lot all do for me.
Thank God you didn't do anything, and that's you used your strength to keep on going, because now you get to see from your own eyes, looking in the chats, how valued you are, bud. And you've probably, well, I wouldn't know, you've probably never met any of us. So so the people who do know you, your mates, where you live, they'll absolutely love you to bits also, buddy. You're very, very valued. Do not forget that.
I won't do anything, bro. I don't think I'll forget anything. I don't think I'll forget anything you guys have ever done for me. Like I said, you all saved my life, so I owe you all for the rest of my life. To give you banter, to give you races on tracks, and to take you all out for drinks when I come and see you.
Nah, don't worry about that, mate.
Unless I get a plane over.
I think if we ever go drinking,
I'm good.
First round's on us, don't worry.
Yeah, first one's on us, mate. First few rounds are on us, mate, and then we'll see who's sober enough to get the next round after that.
I don't think anyone will be sober enough by the time it gets round to me.
Nah.
Callum's gonna buy some whiskey and we'll all be dead.
Oh my God, yeah, that'll be my round. I'll buy everyone a double shot of whiskey, mate, with Coke.
Oh, mate, that's a poor choice, in honest with you.
What is that?
Oh, wait, mate, what's wrong with whiskey?
Oh, that's a really poor shout. It's like an old man's shout.
Excuse me, I'm probably the youngest in the fucking party.
Exactly, but it's still, you know... Yeah, it's a Steve-O drink.
He just called you an old man, Steve-O.
Oh, I am an old man. I am an old man to you guys, I am.
Nah, he's Mark LeBet
mate,
in
you're always
disguise.
doing it hard.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Mark LeBet.
Just-
Is Is that what you were described as, Steve-O?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Oh, don't start that. Don't start that. There's no need for that. That is rude.
The beast from
A slimmer one. A slimmer one.
Oh,
I
yeah.
saw a picture
That's
of it, and
right,
I
the beast
thought
from the
that.
chase.
Yeah, I saw a picture. And I thought actually, yeah, he's probably not that far out. To be fair. Good old Gareth.
Excuse me. Yeah, what I was just about to say was, of course, Scopezz, I'm your head admin for this season. Sorry about that. I was the only one they could pick.
Quick flex.
Yeah. And damn it, Frank, you've put me off now. I just want to extend I'm proud of you from everyone in Div 2. We just want you to know that we're glad you can race with us. I know I think it was a couple of weeks ago, your internet sort of dropped out, so you had to fall for the race. And to be honest, mate, without even knowing anything, we were heartbroken, because racing with you was always fun. It's always a pleasure to race with you, mate. And of course, we always get some good banter with you, mate. You're in my party for the race, so yeah, it was a real shame that you couldn't race that night. And then, to be honest, I sort of blanked last week what happened in the Netherlands. But to have you in the party with us,
vortex.
Same, to be honest, mate. I got absolutely swallowed by the pack, and a couple of mistakes cost us. But yeah, it was a pleasure to have you in my party last week at the start of the lobby, and of course until the end of qualifying. And it's a pleasure to race with you week in, week out. During lockdown, of course, we didn't, for a bit of lockdown, because we didn't have the season. It was just the invitationals. I've sort of forgotten a lot of what happened over lockdown, if I'm honest. But yeah, it's from everyone in Div 2, it's always a pleasure to race with you, mate.
Thank you. It's really appreciated. It's always a pleasure to race with everyone. From going from Div 3 last year with Gareth as admin, they were always a funny bunch to race with.
Especially Gareth's lot.
To having a bit of a play around with the Div 1 lads at the start of the season, it's always been fun to race with everyone in this league, and I wouldn't put it past anyone that everyone in this league is an amazing driver, and everyone has their own special skill set, and you're all special in your own ways, lads. And honestly, I don't know where I'd be without you as my little family.
Yeah, I mean, I know, of course, Div 2 is the new Div 2 basically is made up of a lot of people who haven't raced with each other properly before, and it was sort of at the start of the season, everyone barely knew each other, and not everyone really talked in the pies. It was always so silent. But of course, since then it's sort of grown, and we're in. I know in the chats we're not exactly very talkative, but in parties we always have a good bit of banter. On track we always have fun. Most of the time there's no accidents, but of course it's not always the case. But yeah, it's always a pleasure to have you, mate, and I look forward to racing with you for the rest of the season. Yeah, and look forward to, of course, talking to you every week, and saying I'm going to beat you every week. Nah. If you want, Scopezz, and if you are fine with it, and everyone else in the party is fine with it, do you just want to move on to some of the questions, or if anyone has any questions they want to ask Scopezz, or just in general they want to ask about mental health and stuff like that? That's fine with you, so I think we should extend it to that.
Yeah, that's fun.
Okay, chat. I'm not sure who's actually got chat open. If anyone has chat open, that would be very helpful.
I can say some stuff if anyone's got any questions in chat. I can let you know.
Yeah, so if you, of course, do you have any questions in chat? put them in. If you don't, that's fine. You don't have to, of course, say anything. But if you feel like you need to, of course, go ahead. Same for you guys in the party. If you've got any questions, just ask. We'll work around it. We'll go depending on what's asked first. We'll of course move on to that one first. So, to the people who are looking at the chat, is there any questions so far?
No, we've just got support for Scopezz and Baggy Fan up to Div 3. No.
Baggy Fan up to Div 3.
I just when I say I kind of find it quite touching. I've just turned on the stream, and on the Wednesday race it was Jam that won it, and he's in the Williams, which is of course the same car as Scopezz, which is quite touching, I think.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I've watched the whole race, just making sure my Williams teammates are on top.
I've been trying to keep up with the Williams for you, mate. I've been going between Callum and Jam all race, so, and of course going with 2 other people as well. Does anyone in the party have a question or anything they'd like to say to Scopezz, just to keep it going, or just sort of start it so other people feel like you want to talk?
If you had to summarize it for the average person, for some guy who hasn't, or some person listening who hasn't had to deal with what you're dealing with, what did it feel like to you to win on that race last week? How did you feel like it helped you, and how did it actually feel for you?
Honestly, obviously I spoke about how you've constantly got like a darkness raining over you and stuff, and all the weight on your shoulders, everything just feels like it's just putting you down, and there's no way back out. Like, I was having the constant connection issues and all the stuff on track as well. It wasn't going my way. And then I was sat in a party full of people who have supported me and always made me laugh no matter what. And I just wasn't really thinking about the racing actual aspect, because at the start I knew I was starting at the back anyway due to the quali ban, and I knew I just had to do what I did. And I do remember Southerners saying to me, you're starting at the back, so this is your day to get driver of the day. And I thought to myself, this is the time to push, isn't it? This is the time to get past everyone as much as I can. And it's what I worked on. And passing that line and Southerners screaming at me, you're an 8th, you've got reverse grid pole, I was like, oh shit, mind my French. And I didn't know what to say. I was in shock. And then obviously to go on from the reverse grid pole to win it, I wasn't really thinking throughout the whole. I didn't want a safety car, and I knew I definitely did not want a safety car. But coming around that final corner to see that line, see the checkered flag, to see that I was in P1, there was no stress. And for that moment that you go through that, it's so hard to describe to someone who hasn't. But for that split moment that you go through that, where you've been battling constant stress for months on end, for almost your whole life, for there to be no stress in your life, it is so relieving that there's no pain anymore. There's nothing clouding your mind. You've just got clear vision, and like I said, there was just tears streaming down my face that I couldn't stop. And I was screaming, my voice was going, I couldn't help it. But there was just so much stress released just by that win. And that darkness was just gone. It was there, it was me with my friends, and I was actually enjoying life for once.
I think that's more than I expected. And I'm just glad that you were able to feel that way.
was certainly one of my favourite SLR moments. Just being that party, just waiting until we're all on the straight, and I was just screaming, cheering, and shouting at Scopezz like Fernando Alonso just won a race. It was just immense, and then it was just a party full of 2-3 screaming people cheering, and then you could hear the relief just in Scopez's cheering. It was just so beautiful. Again, to start from last in the feature race, to start in pole in the sprint and to win it. I mean, for both races, I mean, you could well and truly say for both races, Scopezz would have got driver of the day anyway. For both races,
Yeah.
it was absolutely fantastic. It's absolutely beautiful.
Well, I just wanted to say that Benz has said that if he ever goes to Hungary, Scopezz, he will. He wants to have some soup with you, some random Hungarian soup.
You got
Which I
on that
thought
one.
was. I'm not gonna read the actual name of the soup because I'm just gonna mispronounce that word.
I'll happily go have soup with you,
Could be
Benz,
like
don't worry.
goulash or something.
He
It's
wants
just
to
a
have
random
goulash
goulash.
soup with you
Goulash.
if you ever go to Hungary.
Goulash.
So,
Goulash. Oh, goulash is pink.
but that's not how you spell that.
Goulash is nice though.
Yeah.
Maybe we have like a Western way, or not? Well, a British way.
Although it
ruining it.
is a Hungarian soup probably, and that is probably the correct way to spell it. I don't like that spelling anyway.
What's wrong?
You
What's
don't
wrong?
But
like
yeah.
any spelling because you can't spell it.
I mean, if it right.
Damn. Wow.
You couldn't write.
If I was you,
Hey.
I mean,
Right.
I mean,
It's
I think
escalated
it's funny, but if
quickly.
I was you, I'd chill before you're doing the race reports on Tuesday nights, Chief.
I'm just gonna write the next report all in Swedish, and we'll see how funny it is then.
That's to be pretty funny.
Well,
to
it'll be
honest.
me and Gito who can understand
That would
it.
be.
Maybe some
That would be
if I
quite
have
funny,
some
I-
Danish
I-
people.
Ben says we're
Hey,
all
mate.
invited.
You've just. Oh, nice, mate. I'll happily come have some Hungarian soup with you, mate. Yeah. I'm just gonna say this for you now, Clock. You've just made more work for yourself. I'm gonna tell you why. Because if you do it in your native tongue, we're gonna make you do it in everyone's native tongue. So you could be translating a lot of words.
Can you do it in a Scottish accent, please?
Oh yeah, do it in Gaelic.
How do I write with a Scottish accent?
No, you do it in Gaelic.
No, I'm not about writing it. I'm just about just pronounce it. No, just
No,
say
I'm
it.
not gonna.
Oh, yeah,
I'm
go
not
on,
gonna
do a
speak
Scottish
in a
accent.
Scottish
You can,
accent. No.
You can
no,
read
no.
out what Riggs has
I'll-
put in the stream chat in the Scottish section if you want.
Oh my god.
What's it put in like?
I appreciate it,
Yeah,
Rex. Thank
read
you.
it down, so-
I appreciate all of you so much. I've just
Yeah,
seen
we-
Dodgy put in. We need to get the 5-lap championship going. Yeah, we do.
They were very fun to watch.
They're very fun to
That
be a
would be quite
part
fun,
of.
actually. Yeah.
We've been winning their 5-lap championship since 2019.
Yeah, just a quick one for the viewers. I'm sorry that you're watching me do some awful practice at Spain. I'm just, trying to... I'm probably doing better on this lap than I do on my own account, so yeah, just bear with me as I fumble my way around Spain, just to keep up some content while we continue through the podcast. Just want to quickly, say thank you to everyone, of course, who has been watching, who's continuously watched throughout the stream. I bet there's quite a lot of you, of course, who who joined us from the start, and we continue to show your support and appreciation for Scopezz. And yeah, my throat is going. because of how much I've talked. And I haven't even talked as much as the Scopezz. I can't imagine how dry your throat is at the moment, mate.
It's not doing too good.
Oh well, lads, we can't even get him a drink of water. How shit are we? No, I'm joking, mate. I would like to extend an invite to next week's podcast for you, mate, if you would like to, of course, join.
If I can make it, I'll happily join you guys.
Cheers, mate. We'll happily have you on as well. That week you won't have to explain your problems and what you've been through that week. You'll just have a nice, cheerful week of a day of talking about whatever random bull we talk about.
Yeah, we can laugh at clocks together or something like that.
I mean,
why
can't we just laugh at someone else for once? Why
No.
do you always have
Hey,
to
we
laugh
laugh at
at
everyone,
It's
mate.
fun.
Mate, you're not the only one that gets abused.
No, that is true. We all get abused except for Ranga. I think we should just pick on Ranga next week.
That's just not true.
No,
is it?
no.
That's just
Me and
not,
that will always
that's
be
not, that's just not exactly right, is it, really?
Not really.
Well, okay, so everybody tune in for next week to know if you want to know what Ranga did during the whole of season 2.
No, not
Clock.
again. Can we
Just a
not?
quick one, Clock. Can I get you to pronounce what Iron Ben's just put in the Twitch chat?
Oh my god.
Oh wow.
Oh, what the fuck?
What is that?
Oh
Oh
wow.
my god.
Stuffed cabbage.
Yeah,
Okay, I'm gonna try, and
they
Ben
just call
will
it
have to say if,
Go on,
if
go
I
on.
can be Hungarian.
Go on then.
Listen to me.
Okay.
That's so giggling.
Yeah, but it's tough, okay? I got... Okay. Töltutapochka.
Oh my god.
Just singing in the background.
I wouldn't say that's
Sorry,
far
mate.
off though, to be fair.
No, I was going
What's
to say
wrong,
that.
Callum?
That was pretty good.
I couldn't stop myself, I'm sorry. I've been serious this entire podcast. Can I at least have one laugh?
Nah.
Although I would like
No.
to say that the driving standard on the stream now is pretty awful. There's a
You
Mercedes
mean
standing
I'm
in
in
the
a
gravel.
wall?
Oh,
he just stopped.
but you know, Benz, that letter obviously exists in the Swedish alphabet as well. So I know that one.
How do you pronounce it?
It's
How do you
fine.
pronounce it?
Go and pronounce it, mate.
Yeah, just
Uh.
pronounce it. Just the one.
Yeah, it's like
Them two
We-
little dots
we've
mean
got-
It's the
make
same in
it,
German
we-
as well, isn't it?
We have
Is
three more letters than you have in the Swedish alphabet. We have O, Ö as the final 3 ones. So when you're done
That sounds
with
like
that, we like...
Is that just
Walla
the
walla
ones that
bing
have got
bang.
all the 2 dots on top of it?
Is that not just a
Yeah.
gay version of French?
Yeah. O is the one with 1 dot, A is an A with 2 dots, and Ö is an O with 2
I'm
dots.
glad I was the only
so-
one who heard that.
Yeah.
Oh my! This is the tangent again, isn't it? Tangent that we always.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the. I'm just
Stop
looking
talking about-
for
It's
the
like
racist
it's
comment.
Swedish
mandatory,
vocabulary.
basically.
Well, since they removed my quiz this week, they're gonna have some sort of
Mate,
thing going on.
I said, me and Steve at the beginning of this podcast said, if you want to, while we're going through it, create a couple questions, and if we have time, we'll answer them.
Well, I wasn't here when you said that, but
Yes,
That's because you were late.
Idiot.
That's because you were late.
Us four to start off with when you said that.
I mean, I can always rock up some questions if you
What
want to
can
have
I-
a quiz.
I've got to get going soon.
Alright,
Well,
let's
well,
do
we'll
Yeah,
end
two
I'm
off-
questions.
being
Clock.
conscious of time.
Do 2 questions.
Yeah, do two random questions that you,
Yeah, come
you
on.
know the answers of.
Oh shit, I only have 2% on my computer now as well, that's not good. Just gonna get my charger. Oh, this is
Put me on the
quick.
spot now, lads.
Was that multiple choice? Or-
Okay, right, an unprepared quiz, it's gonna be brilliant.
Let's do it.
It's good, so it's good already.
I'm loving it. I'm
Well,
already, it's already there.
I mean,
Hold on,
I'm
can
waiting
we
for
have-
the jingle.
I was gonna say, I'm waiting for the jingle too.
Oh,
I can't start
okay.
before
The what?
the jingle, you know.
The jingle.
The
Fox-
jingle.
Fox Quizz's
The quiz jingle.
Steve, I did it last week. You can do it this week.
I did one
Yeah,
last
go on,
week as
Steve.
well. I don't. I'm.
Yeah,
Um,
go on,
excluded.
Steve-o.
have we got to do a different one?
It doesn't matter. Just do it.
We're all here for Clocks Quiz. Clocks Quiz. Clocks Quiz. Clocks Quiz.
Hey.
How was
There you
that?
go.
How was that?
That's good. That's good.
Oh, that was
That's my new phone ringtone.
There we go.
Someone please record that and make it as a ringtone. That would be
Also-
amazing.
Just-
Verbal aids.
Just a quick comment. Racer Roller has complimented my driving as I've spun twice in the past 5 seconds. Whoops.
Got a
Well,
lot to look forward to for on Saturday night then.
Yeah, this is gonna.
My
Shut up.
Ching chang, walla walla bing
Ding
bang.
dang, walla walla
Okay.
bing bang.
Seriously,
Fuck
you
off.
made, hang on,
Be
hang on.
quiet.
How come I got made to do that jingle and you're singing that? How's that work?
Well,
Because we're good.
exactly. Don't
Right,
disrespect this jingle.
Ranga's doing. Yeah, disgusting. Trying to beat it.
Ranga's doing the outro then. Ranga's doing the outro.
First
Yeah,
question of the
Rango,
quiz.
Rango did the
Yeah.
outro.
Yeah.
That's why I had to
Steve
do
for
last
X
week.
Factor, by the way.
As the teacher
God,
says,
no.
Chats in,
Definitely
guys,
not.
it's our own time we're wasting.
Yeah,
teacher.
people in here really
He has-
struggle to
he
be
hasn't-
quiet, I feel.
He hasn't been on the podcast before, has he? He's asking me saying that. We always waste time.
It's you.
Right, come on
usually
then.
Me who's
Clock.
like, can we get on with
Hurry
it?
up.
No, but if people could just shut the fuck up, I could hurry up.
What did he say? No swearing.
Right, okay, let's do it. Let's do it.
Clock's getting arsey, man.
Right,
Until he's
the
not
first
starts getting arsey.
Steven's level.
Ranga's hit a nerve.
Okay.
God. Was that you, Matt?
Moving on.
That's the.
Who invited Jimmy
Carr,
Carr?
I'm gonna book the first plane I can find to Britain and God knows what I'll do when I arrive.
Oh god.
Calm.
Right.
Calm.
Okay, time
Yeah.
to complete. Let's
First
do it.
question.
Come on then.
Let's
You can have
go.
some,
Come
you
on,
can have
come
some
on.
goulash.
First question.
First question. Who's got the most podium out of the Ham brothers?
Jam ham.
Question.
Jam ham.
Yeah, jam. No,
Jam.
ham. I'm gonna go ham jam. Just
Yeah, I'm gonna go ham.
jam.
Jam wham.
We've got a couple answers.
Jam, wham,
Um,
alakazam.
Jam, ham, jam. The correct answer
Ham
is
wham.
actually that they were on 17, both of them, before Sandvoort, when Ham
then
Jam
Ham
got a
got it,
podium
let's
and overtook Jam. So Ham Jam actually has 18 podium and Ham only has 17 podiums.
Fuming.
Nice,
I've been
nice,
robbed.
Nice hire.
Here's
nice
me.
one.
Here's me with
Me
Me and
zero.
no one got that right.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
Right like the back of the hand.
Well, look at Ranga behind them on only 16.
I'll take
Imagine
that.
having so
How
few
many
Out,
are
podiums.
on
out of 4.5 seasons.
I was gonna say, Steve,
That's not bad,
we
you know.
haven't got any yet.
Nah, Steve,
Zero.
you forget he didn't do it season 2, so only 3 and
He
a half
did do,
seasons.
sorry, 3.5 seasons. Ah.
Alright, then move on to the second question then, mate.
Yep. Second question. Just gotta find something to make a question of.
Oh my god, we've given you 10 minutes
Do,
laughing.
do.
Yeah, but I had the first question. Then I became angry because you kept making noises when I was gonna. Okay, since Scopezz is here, I'm gonna make a question on him, and I want to know.
Chance scopes.
I want to know. But everyone can answer. But I want to know how many points he has scored
Oh god.
over his
Oh,
is
8
this
races
season?
in SLR.
Is this season? This season?
Nah, in the whole of your SLR.
Overall.
Whole of SLR, 85.
No.
78.
In 8
He's
races.
done 8. He's done 8 races, Stephen.
Oh, okay.
Wait, he's
oh,
done
oh,
2
oh,
races.
oh,
He did 1.
Is it just
Done 2
F1
races
ones?
in- Just F1. F2, I don't have any statistics on
I'm
F2.
gonna say 35.
Unfortunately for you.
42.
Hold on.
You've got,
I'm gonna say
You've got 20 in
53.
F2. I know that because I did that earlier.
Scopes, you're gonna have to answer last.
It's
because...
if it's not counting F, I know how much it is.
So do you have some
About
more
50
guesses?
something?
I haven't.
Yeah, no, I
because,
said 35.
I haven't even really been close to the correct answer yet. So
Really?
Oh,
you haven't
28.
been close.
18.
It's getting closer, but
Or 10.
Come on.
14.
yeah, Scopes, go for it.
I heard it. I'm gonna say 7.
Nah, it's a bit more. It's a bit more.
Really? Where did that
9.
come from?
You had, I want to say, did you finish with 2 last year? If
I finished with 1 last year.
Oh, you had 1. Okay, I thought you had 2. Never mind.
So it's whatever this year's come up to with 1
5?
added on. I thought it was 6 so far this year. But I didn't finish Zandvoort, which makes it 7.
Right, clock,
Well,
what's the
according
answer?
Is it
to
8
this, on this, on my notes here, I've written 10.
Oh, I've got more points than I
Oh,
thought I
someone
did.
said 10.
There we go then. Bonus.
Didn't realise I had that many
Pretty
points.
good.
Alright.
Oh, it's not negative, is it?
Where did that come from?
It's
I
not-
haven't finished the past 2 races. Where did that come from?
You're just that good, mate.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just getting points without
gotta-
even finishing.
You
Yeah.
got a gift from a Swedish gift from me. That is in 3 points.
Oh, thank you.
I didn't want to be too generous, so I only gave you 3.
Yeah, if I can move on to something I've been absolutely dying to move on to since the start of the podcast, since it's a great thing to announce. He says that as he's not actually prepared to announce it. Bottle. Okay. Of course, as usual, after a quiz, we move on to Drivers of the Week. This week in F1, we of course have Div 2's own SLR Niki. He did well at Zandvoort to, I'm going to read out the little description that was put in. The flying thing shows how quick he is with his... Wait, what? How quick? Oh. Just had a
God.
bottle there.
Oh god.
I forgot how to English there, leave me alone.
Really good.
The flying fin shows how quick he is with his main competitor, not around taking pole and winning style. By around 20 seconds after the second place man gets disqualified, and I believe taking the championship lead. Who the hell wrote this?
He did.
Liam wrote
Possibly
it.
Liam.
Liam
He's
wrote.
definitely
Liam.
taken the championship lead. That's one
Good
thing.
job, Liam.
Liam wrote.
Yeah,
Liam wrote
he
a
was
really
definitely taking the championship lead.
Liam wrote a really in-depth one, and then the message didn't send, so he had to try and get it out quickly. he was at work, so he had to try and get it out.
So can we really start to bully Liam for that now then?
No, we're gonna bully you.
No.
We're still gonna bully
He's
you.
not here.
Yeah.
We can bully
Alright,
him in the
just,
chat as well.
That makes it even
I
better,
get
doesn't
bullied
it?
there
That makes it
too.
better.
Clock.
What if he's not here?
Yeah.
That's proper bullying then. What we do to clock's just funny. That's proper bullying, that
Yeah.
is. If he's not here to defend himself.
Alright, lads,
it,
I'll
bully
move
him.
on to our F2 driver of the week. If I can get some silence in the chat, please. Alright, so for this week in F2, I did talk about this a bit earlier. We have our very own SLR Scopezz. This week, we're giving F2 driver of the week to SLR Scopezz with a great drive in the feature race, getting himself reverse grid pole for the sprint, and goes on to win convincingly, keeping a second or more to second place. I would also like to give an honourable mention to SLR Sem, who jumped in late and had 2 good races. More noticeable, the feature starting 15th and finishing 6th. Of course, I'm just reading off what Liam says. Oh shit, and then my phone died. After the race, SLR Scopezz, of course, as Liam has put, brought us all to tears with the previously mentioned story. He did put it in the chats after the F2 race, and moved everyone to absolute tears, myself included. once again, I would like to say you're an absolute hero to everyone. And please do, and of course, thank you all for tuning in today, as he wanted at the end of that Drive of the Week announcement. I would personally like to congratulate, of course, Nikki, who is, of course, Div 2, and I've been the head admin. I'm quite glad one of my lads got a Driver of the Week, but I'm also greatly I'm really messing up my English today. I'm really thankful to be able to have announced Driver of the Week for Scopezz on SidePOD, and so thankful for him for, of course, joining the SidePOD tonight. And I would like to thank everyone else, which I don't need to think it's definitely true. Everyone extending their love and support for you, Scopezz, and I hope you... Oh God, how do I say this without sounding like a dick? I wish you
Just do it normally then,
luck. I wish you luck and happiness for the rest of times, mate. We were all here for you if anything happens, if anything you need to talk about, if there's anything you need to discuss with us. We were always here, and especially, like, of course, the people you mentioned earlier, who, of course, you did talk to before the announcement. And I would like to say that we're glad you're here, mate, and that we, thankful for you staying and racing with us. So I would like to extend any comments the rest of the party would like to say. If anyone has anything to say on chat, I'd be happy to read it out as I go and open it now. Just to Scopezz right now. And I'd also like to thank Baggy for calling me a dictator in the chat. That's always fun. Thanks, Baggy, for that. That's definitely just completely helped my image. So yeah, if anyone in the party would like to say anything to Scopezz, I'd like to extend that to you right now. And then I will end off the stream.
Thank you. I'm just going to have to
Everyone
cut
goes
you
silent.
short there, unfortunately, Callum. I'm going to thank you all for everything that you've done for me and everything that you continue to do for not just me, but for everyone else. Obviously, I'm going to have to head off now, unfortunately.
All right, mate.
I just want to say thank you so much, lads, and it really does mean the world to me. And I'll hopefully get to speak to some of you later on in the week.
All right, mate.
Right.
Well, thanks for jumping in. I think
Thank you for joining us tonight, mate.
We're so glad that you've
Take it easy,
come on.
buddy.
My pleasure. Thank you.
All right then. That has been SLR SidePOD episode 15. We're on the 15th episode, and I'm glad it was the 15th.
Nice little milestone.
Yeah. Baggy, don't ask that, because me and Clock will go on an absolute tangent, and I want to finish the stream.
Next week, save it for next week, mate.
Yeah, save it for next week, mate.
Yeah.
Just wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Pretty sure we said
SLR
to say
Dodgy,
something
thanks
for
for-
next week last week, but I can't remember what it was. Oh well, we'll save for it for next week as well.
Yeah, we'll
I'll
remember
rewatch it and find out.
Anyway, I would like to thank, of course, Scopezz for joining. He, of course, has just left, so, of course, he won't be able to receive my thanks at this moment in time. Of course, got some love for Scopezz in the chat from both Dodgy and Baggy, as my throat literally closes on itself. I'd like to thank you all for joining me today. Thank you, Steve-O, for again being my lovely and wonderful co-host.
My pleasure.
Thank you, Ranga, for joining.
Pleasure.
And
Thank
thanks
you,
in
Owen, for
advance.
always being here as well.
Thanks in advance to Ranga
Pleasure,
for the
as
outro as
always.
well.
Yep. I'm just trying to get through the outro. Thank you, Clock,
Yeah,
for
for
joining
everybody.
as well, mate. Always a pleasure. And thank you, Southerners, for joining as well. Good
was
to
an
see
honour.
you on the SidePOD this week. So yeah, take us out with a jingle.
So isn't it
Ranga.
just... Hold on, is it an outro for Clock's quiz, or is it an outro for the SidePod?
No, it's outro
For the
Side
SidePod.
pod. Full
For the
SidePod, yeah.
SidePod.
Oh,
I didn't know we
Owen
had
is
an
doing-
outro.
This is your
Oh,
moment.
I
Yeah,
did
we
it
have
last
an outro now.
week.
Side
I did
pod
it last
outro.
week.
Ah.
Yeah. No.
Spotlight's on you now, mate.
Come on.
Make it good. Make it good.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
well,
make it good,
that's
mate.
gonna make it better now, Steve. Thanks, mate. I've got nothing.
Oh, mate.
Come on.
Oh,
Don't
bottle
bother.
it, mate.
Someone give me some ideas. I've bottled.
Just sing a random
Oh my
tune.
God,
Yeah,
anything.
honestly, just sing the first thing that comes.
Oh, you're
into
so
your
shit, Ranga.
Yeah.
Just do it. Just do a mic drop in the background.
Yeah, just
A what?
A mic
Mic
drop.
drop.
Just drop your headset on the ground or something.
yeah.
jingle.
Then stamp
Don't-
on it.
Don't stamp on it. Don't stamp on it.
How was
Because
that?
Ranga's a bottle, I think Steve will should do the tune, just to
What's that?
do a random tune, mate, just to round us out.
What? With words or humming it? Or
Just a
what? What
random tune. It doesn't matter. God, it's not that hard.
Just
Your
merge
mind
some
goes-
words.
Your mind goes blank
Well-
when you get put on the spot.
It does a bit.
Mine
When you put on the
does.
spot.
It does.
Okay, I'll
Thanks
do
for
it.
listening. It's been the SidePod. There you go. How's that?
Hey.
And Clock's rubbish
fine,
quiz.